We're redefining self-love beyond aesthetic, because self-love isn't always pretty. It isn't just about affirmations, bubble baths, and skincare routines. It's about how you treat yourself when nobody's watching. It's about how you are performing and acting and treating you when you're not pressing record on a camera or pressing record on your phone for social media. How are you truly handling and treating you beyond that? You know what I mean? Self love is about worthiness. It's about dismantling the idea that you have to perform or be perfect to earn love, because you don't have to earn love through perfection and performance. You know what I mean? Another thing you have to remember is that you have to heal the inner critic. That's you. You know, recognize where self doubt comes from. Like maybe it's some past relationships, some past childhood trauma that you haven't quite dealt with. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's even like systems. And for a lot of us, you know, we can point to some of our issues with to systems of oppression and things like that. You know what I mean? But you have to call out your limited beliefs and replace it with compassion and truths about who you are. You can't grow in the garden of self shame. Like, you can't thrive where shame exists. You have to release yourself from that. And the only way to release yourself from that is to acknowledge that it exists in the first place. Acknowledge that, and then you have to start to figure out what can change, what needs to change for you to start to thrive. You know what I mean? And don't get it twisted. You know, when we think of self-love, especially in the day of social media, you know, again, we think it's all sunshine and rainbows, and in actuality, it's uncomfortable at times. It doesn't always feel good, you know, because self-love also requires boundaries. And sometimes saying no is very difficult for people who are former people pleasing, getting away from people pleasing. You know, because saying no sometimes can end relationships. Imagine yourself, you've show up for everybody. You've been there when people called, when people needed stuff. It was always yes. They wanted you to watch their kids. It was yes. They wanted you to go out and you didn't want to. You say yes. And then you start saying no. You start saying no. And now that's a problem. So again, self-love isn't always pretty or comfortable, you know, because boundaries are self-love in action. Like, boundaries protect you, it protects your peace. You know what I mean? And it's not so much to push people away, but if that's what happens, it happens. Because sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes your boundaries aren't for you to push people away, but some people are going to feel that way and they're going to walk away anyway, because they no longer have that control over you. They no longer have that yes man or that yes woman to cater to them. So when you start to say no and it becomes a problem, and they make the decision and they don't see it as you just protecting you or taking care of you, and they see it as a threat to them, then adios amigos. Let them go. Let them walk away. You hear me? Because if you have to portray yourself to keep other people comfortable, please understand that that's not love. That's not love at all. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have to betray who you are for other people to feel seen or feel comfortable. So self-love isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it'll even make you feel bad, you know, but at the end of the day, you still have to deal with that. You know, you have to embrace your entire self, and that's flaws and all. You know what I mean? Ain't none of us perfect. You have to learn to love yourself and shower yourself with love and grace and peace, even on bad days, even on the days you don't feel so good. Like, not just the days that the sun is out shining and, you know, you feel pretty, you hear me? Are you feeling good? Like, nah, you have to shower yourself on those days and learn to love yourself, you know, on the days where you just feel like, ugh. And we all have those days, you hear me? Like, accept that, accepting that you are a work in progress. Like, and even though you are a work in progress, you still deserve to give yourself grace and understand that flaws are not failures. Flaws are a reminder that you are human. You hear what I mean? Like, you are, at the end of the day, just a person. You just a person. You hear me? Like, and understanding, you got to understand that self-love is a daily practice. It's not like this destination that you reach and then, like, there's a finish line and there's confetti and balloons waiting. No, that should be every day. The confetti and balloons should be every day. It shouldn't be something that you're trying to get to. Like, there's no destination or prize at the end of this thing. That's why it's important to practice self-love every day, because it's about small, consistent choices that you make for you. How you gonna show up for yourself? How you gonna treat yourself? How you gonna embrace you? You hear me? And again, it's not gonna always be pretty. You're not gonna always want to do it. You're not gonna always feel up to it. You hear me? But at the end of the day, you have to celebrate the progress and not the perfection, because it ain't perfect. It'll never be perfect. But you owe it to yourself to take care of you. You're not gonna always feel confident. You're not gonna always feel pretty, handsome. Um, you're not gonna always feel like you smart or whatever like that, but you can still act in love towards yourself even on those days. You hear me? So keep that in mind as you practice that self-love every day. You hear me? And until next time, make sure you take care of yourself. It's your boy Chris Wright. Peace, love, and happiness.